Life plus 342 years, a sentence of several lifetimes in prison today for the meth dealer who ran down a State Patrol cadet in 2015. His name does not matter, and that's the last we'll speak of him. We choose instead to speak of Taylor Tifo, posthumously promoted to trooper after his death in the line of duty, a 21-year-old who had already made a bucket list and already checked off the most significant accomplishment of all.
Taylor saved the life of another man, but we know that if Trooper Taylor Tifo had graduated and had a full career with the State Patrol, he would have checked that goal off of his bucket list time and time again.
Trooper Clint Rushing's very life is a testament to that fact. They were side by side investigating another crash in Boulder County when a meth dealer fleeing a traffic stop drove in their direction.
I knew nothing about Taylor before that morning. But in 2.5 minutes, I knew the kind of guy that he was, and I knew the kind of trooper that he was going to be.
And that is when the rest of Colorado learned why Taylor Tifo's mother had always been so proud, from his childhood to his Army service to the start of his State Patrol career.
From the age of 4, he's always wanted to build his muscles and go into the Army. I miss him. I miss his touch. I miss his feel.
Today, Carol Adler addressed the thief who stole her son.
What's also been taken away is my identity. That day, as a mom, I will forever be his mom. But do you know how hard it is to be a mom? When you don't get to see your child every day? When you don't get to hear your child every day? It's heartbreaking.
Tifo was the first of 3 members of the Colorado State Patrol killed on duty in 18 months. As we mentioned right here last night, the only time that has ever happened in the 80-year history of CSP. President-elect Donald Trump suggested this morning on Twitter that flag burning should be a crime punishable by the loss of American citizenship. Currently, there is only one conviction that can strip a natural-born American of citizenship, and that is treason. Now, there are a couple of schools of thought on this. Trump might be serious, which would put him at odds with constitutional conservatives like the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. He could be using a literally incendiary tweet to distract from another day of coverage of his family's conflicts of interest. Or it has been suggested that Trump is trying to provoke protesters into flag burning in order to discredit those protesters. So we asked our political experts on the right and left, is Trump serious, sneaky, or crazy like a fox?
Look, given those 3 options, I think that Donald Trump is probably crazy like a fox. The reality is that it's established law by the Supreme Court that flag burning, as disgusting as it might be, is protected by the First Amendment. And the reality is that there are ridiculous protests that are happening across the country right now. And if there's one thing that we're seeing consistently, it's that they're getting more and more over the top. So if he's actually inducing them to burn flags in order to hurt them, their PR case, that might be a thing that's happening.
Look, Donald Trump is seriously trolling all of us. I mean, the simple fact is that this guy has spent the entire election and now the entire run-up to his inauguration trying to distract from his multiple scandals, be it signing the front of a $25 million settlement check to victims of his Trump University scam, or the fact that the people that he's been appointing to cabinets all over the place have been wildly unqualified, or the same kind of establishment Republicans that he claimed to want to drain the swamp of during the entire campaign. Donald Trump is a serious troll.
24 hours after we all turned west to watch the top of Green Mountain burn in Lakewood, the cause of that fire is still under investigation. And firefighters were out in the cold doing mop-up work today. We can tell you that fire is fully contained. That is firefighter speak for they're confident that hotspots can't flare up beyond their control. Wait, Facebook got dramatic about that brush fire, as in like local TV news kind of dramatic, asking people to mark themselves safe if they live anywhere near Green Mountain. It worried a lot of moms of people who live in the city of Denver who were far, far from any kind of danger. Come on, Facebook. Careful with that feature. You're freaking people out.
25 homeowners in Boulder will be getting a knock on their door this week. A knock from a determined woman trying to help them keep their homes by stopping something perfectly legal, a practice she calls predatory. Investors buying liens on mobile homes and turning around and taking over those homes. I tagged along with her today.
Jill Grano's knuckles have to feel it on a day like today as she works her way through this mobile home park in Boulder.
Hi, how are you?
It's the kind of solicitation that might tempt you to slam the door.
I'm just a concerned citizen.
Until you find out she's actually trying to save your home.
The county created a lien against their home, and then that lien was sold to an investor.
It's a practice that's perfectly legal. After a year of an unpaid tax bill, the county auctions off liens to investors. Those investors are typically banking on the owners not paying that lien. They make money on the interest. But after a year, the investor can apply for ownership of the mobile home and essentially scoop it up from underneath the owner.
The investor with a lien as little as $73 in one case on here can come and have ownership of the entire home.
So Jill is on a mission to warn owners. She has a list of 25 mobile home liens that were sold at auction earlier this month. She got it because she was at the sale.
People are literally sitting around the table Googling names, trying to bet on who they think won't be able to pay. Right here it is.
You see, Jill helped out a mom from her son's school who almost had her lien bought by an investor. Now she's trying to help others, so she invested.
I quickly realized that between the prices plus the premiums, I wasn't going to be able to buy all of them. And so I just started underlining all the women on the list, and I bought all the women's houses. So I bought 9. Perfect. I'm happy to hear that. Okay.
Now she's on a mission to warn the 16 others.
I'm out causing a ruckus and telling everyone they have to pay so that that doesn't happen to them.
Jill is also working with state legislators to try to figure a way to fight this. So the best advice before you buy any property, check with your county treasurer or your local recorder to see if there's any outstanding lien. And of course, pay your bills. Though she's found a lot of these liens had to do with clerical errors instead, Kyle.
She's doing good work. Steve,
she is.
Thank you. So we've learned within the last hour that the future of Denver's landmark Loretto Heights campus is now in doubt. Colorado Heights University, the latest in a long line of educational institutions to call that 76-acre campus home, has announced today that it's closing, declining enrollment, as well as an accreditation issue. Students who are on campus will finish their degrees through next year. University spokesman said the nonprofit that owns that land doesn't have a preference on whether it's sold to another educational institution or a commercial developer. But with classes scheduled through 2017, he said it's way too early to discuss a possible commercial development at Loretto Heights. A homeless veteran passed away in Wyoming earlier this month. No family or friends at his side. He was laid to rest today, surrounded by people who cared about him. Stephen Ryman served in the Navy during the Vietnam War. He was living on the streets when he went into the Wyoming Medical Center where he died. The Natrona County coroner was determined to find Ryman's family, or at least close friends. Finding none, she invited the whole community to come to his funeral, which made for a wonderful scene today. Ryman's sister had been located at the last moment, and she flew into Wyoming to find that hundreds of people had gathered to remember her brother. And she was able to meet the nurses who comforted him in his final moments.
Gratitude. Gratitude is the only word I can use to express it. That all of these people could come out, and a special place in my heart goes to the nurses from the ICU who came to this service to tell me that they were with him when he died. I'm a nurse myself, and it just meant so much to me that they would take the time to do that.
We, like they, are determined that no one who serves honorably should be forgotten. We're working on an in-depth story about Ryman, his service, and that community. Look for that in the next week or so. Tonight's recommendation isn't reading material. It's a chance to get out there and do something. Volunteers are needed to light the luminarias at the Colorado Freedom Memorial in Aurora on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you have never been out there, this is your chance. It is a beautiful and serene place, and it will only be more so when 6,023 luminarias are lit. One for each name. One for each Colorado serviceman or woman ever lost in combat. There are shifts open for volunteers in the late afternoon and evening, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We recommend that you check it out. You can find details on the next Facebook page. Life for the veterans who return home is not always idyllic, but some of our neighbors are committed to helping them put down new roots. Photojournalist Chris Hansen took his camera to Denver's Park Hill neighborhood to show us inside a nonprofit called Veterans to Farmers.
I thought I was going to change the world. Now I'm 35 and I still think I'm going to change the world. It's just going to be in a really different way.
These two?
Yeah, those two stay empty. It's something about it. You ask any gardener, it's just, you just got to keep doing it. You know, It's a reason to get out of bed in the morning.
My name is John Flovin.
My name's Scott Cameron.
My name's Lucky Jones. I was in the U.S. Army Special Forces.
I served in 1st and 506 Infantry in Korea.
Active duty, Navy.
I served from 2003 to 2008.
Did one tour in Iraq.
I was watching TV in Australia when the towers went down and thought, well, maybe I could do something about that.
I was a medic in the military, and all I knew whenever I got out of the military was I didn't want to work in the medical field. Got out, went back home to college, pursued a degree in the business world, did a little time working in the corporate world, and then ended up linking up with these guys at the beginning of the year.
Veterans to Farmers. I guess you could say it's pretty self-explanatory through the name, but it's really a reintegration system teaching veterans a variety of agriculture techniques.
This sump tank, all the water goes spread out into the plant beds.
My hope is that I can make food that doesn't travel great distances, that makes people feel good when they eat it.
We don't actually charge the veterans for the class. We actually pay them because it's kind of like an on-the-job training program.
And are you going to do it too, John?
We don't focus anything on the therapy side of things, but we just see working with the plants and working with the peer-to-peer how it truly does help people become reintegrated.
Toughest part. Yeah, it was tough coming back and adjusting back to the civilian world. I actually went through really bad separation anxiety where I didn't really know what to do all the time, so I constantly had the desire to go back in, and I actually tried to go back in for about 3 years.
You know, there's only one guy I'd met before, and all the others are all complete strangers, and have that instant brotherhood. It really, I don't think I realized how much that was missing until I had it again, you know.
So I don't know if I'd necessarily say I've changed. I would say it probably just lets me go back to more being the person I was before, you know, I enlisted and, you know, deployed and all that stuff.
It's every day, you know, it feels like you have a purpose again.
You say you want to help the homeless. Well, we have a very real opportunity to do that. These dogs are outstanding in their field, and a next viewer wants to know why. Plus your chance to pick the humiliating facial hairstyle I have to wear on air Thursday.
Thank you, Colorado. This year's 9 Cares Colorado Shares was a huge success.
Together we collected tons of food and thousands in cash to feed Colorado families. Special thanks to all 9 Cares sponsors.
Don't worry, you still have time to donate.
You can pick up a donation box at King Soopers all month long.
Or you can drop off any new or used coat for Coats for Colorado at any dependable cleaners.
Let's keep the spirit of giving going all month long.
Did you know that 1 in 3 women in the United States experience rape, physical violence, and/or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime? This could be your mother, sister, daughter, or best friend. Safe House Denver provides safe shelter and comprehensive services to adults, children, and youth experiencing domestic violence. Visit safehouse-denver.org to learn how to help someone you suspect is experiencing abuse, or to learn about volunteer opportunities, donations, and other ways you can get involved.
From the sidelines to the front office, get the inside story from the ultimate insider. Broncos Sideline Stories with Jim Sacamano. Saturday nights at 9:30 on Channel 20.
What's really fun about covering Furniture Row Racing is the passion that you find here. It's a huge challenge because they want to be here in Denver where the rest of their world is in North Carolina. The feel of family that you get, they really do like each other. They love coming to work. It has not been an overnight success. Seeing them reach that pinnacle of going to the equivalent of the championship in NASCAR has really been fun.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Fort Collins has an idea to solve its shortage of homeless shelters, but the city is looking for your help. Churches and community organizations donate space so that people can spend the night. The city now needs volunteers to drive people there and to stay with them overnight. The same setup has worked in Nashville, Tennessee.
This is also a flexible model that allows for some of the things that maybe our permanent shelters can't. So some of the organizations have been willing to take couples, people with pets. So we're really piloting this year to test our community capacity and readiness to have an ongoing program like this as they do in Nashville.
Fort Collins has 2 permanent shelters for the homeless, but they fill up fast in the wintertime. You can find information about volunteering for those pop-up shelters in this article. It's in the next section on 9news.com. Our next question comes from an inquisitive viewer, Margot Stearns. Margot got at us on Twitter to ask, what the heck's going on with the dog statues on Broomfield High School's baseball field? Well, we are in the answer business around here. And Margot, the answer is the dog statues are to keep geese off the grass. Broomfield High School's athletic director tells us that the dog statues were actually made by the baseball coach himself, Garen Estes. He puts them on the field during the offseason to make sure that the geese stay clear and that his field stays clean. And Coach Estes really gets into this. The material that he uses for the dog's ears is flexible, so the ears flap in the wind, makes it more lifelike. No goose is stealing its way onto his field. So here we are in the closing days of No Shave November, and this beard will soon be no more. My wife is sad about that. But if you'll help us hit our goal, raising money for men's cancer research, well, then you can decide just what questionable facial hair I will be sporting here on the first day of December, on Thursday. The choices, by popular acclaim: a Ron Burgundy mustache, a Fu Manchu, popularized as the Drew Manchu by Drew Soicher, or mutton chops. You can weigh in right now on 9news.com/vote now. I will abide by the vote of the people tonight and tomorrow. If you help us hit the fundraising goal, even $10 helps, then I'll roll in here in whatever you choose on Thursday. And check us out right now on Facebook, my page or the next page. We got a little thing going where if you kick in $10, I'll kick in $10 too, and we'll really get this thing closer to the goal. We'll check the results before we leave the air tonight. 9news.com/vote now. Merriam-Webster's word of the year is shaping up to be a pretty depressing one, unless we all do something about it. The boss takes orders from no one. One place in Denver learned, if you ask real nicely. And a sign that our city doesn't replace its signs very often. Next.
Grab an Cares Colorado Shares box at King Soopers all this month. Your $5 or $10 donations provide food for fellow Coloradans in need. Donate one today.
Big dreams don't happen alone. Long before they come to fruition, we share them with those we love and trust.
He told me he loved me and that I was his best friend. And he said, thank you for being my guardian when I needed it and being my mom when I needed to be set straight.
Taylor made his list as a teenager. Number 1, join the Army. Mom resisted at first.
And I just said, go forward. Be this protector. I know you're going to succeed.
Goal met. Number 13, get a job. Taylor chose Colorado State Trooper.
He put his mind to it, and nothing was going to stop him. And he was going to be the top. He was going to be the best of the best.
These are 100 miles per hour.
On May 23rd, Taylor was almost at the end of his cadet training.
Taylor had texted me that day at 7:30 and said, I'm at an accident at Highway 1 and Highway 66.
Taylor died at the scene. Trooper Rushing was critically hurt. A tow truck driver also there wasn't hurt. He said Taylor shouted at him to get out of the way.
He died a hero. He saved a man's life so he can go home to his little ones.
Save a life. Goal number 9. Achieved.
I would text him just to keep in touch with him.
I got a few real short ones. I love you, I miss you, that type of stuff.
Sergeant Kel Holsey had a new phone with a new number. Turns out it was Taylor's old number. He offered to change the number. Carol asked him not to. After all, he was doing what Taylor wanted to do.
It's like I always have a little angel in my pocket now.
And so the conversation didn't end. And while Taylor never got the chance to reach many of his goals, as fate would have it, he did find a way to accomplish number 22.
He's still trying to make a difference.
I never want them to forget Taylor Tifo.
You can feel it in the air. Another Colorado winter is on the way. Time to winterize your pets.
For cold walks outside, a comfy sweater for your big guy.
After that walk, rinse sensitive paws of ice melting salt or chemicals, or get a set of pet boots.
And always make sure when you leave home, your pets are snuggled safe and warm indoors.
Get your 9 News forecast on the go. Download the app for your phone and tablet. It's free, so get it today.
Welcome back. I'm meteorologist Kathy Sabin here in the 9 News studios, and we have a very windy and chilly night ahead. Our high temperature today, seasonal in the mid-40s. Everybody's talking about the wind blowing to almost 60 miles per hour between Akron, Burlington, Sterling, and Fort Morgan, all around an area of low pressure that's spinning in the Midwest. The winds continue out on the far eastern plains, and that may mean some areas of blowing snow. Temperatures are going to be cold for the rest of the week. Hard to believe it's still fall. Winter solstice not till Wednesday, December 21st. Big, broad area of low pressure continuing to bring wind and cold to the Midwest. Out ahead of it, the threat for severe weather, much needed rain to the fire zones in eastern Tennessee tonight. We'll get a little reprieve, a little break from the snow here in Colorado until Friday. But check out the number for tonight, 15. You're going to feel that tomorrow morning. With sunshine, you'd think it'd be a warmer day, but it won't be. Seasonal highs in the low 40s, and Friday is going to be the coldest day of the week. Parade of Lights steps off at 8 o'clock. Freezing. That's our high temperature, 32 degrees with a few flurries. A little bit of a warming trend heading into the weekend. We'll be back to 50 degrees. Hard to believe, winter right around the corner.
Hey, just a friendly heads up here, but fascism will be Merriam-Webster's word of the year unless a bunch of us go online and search for another word. The dictionary people are practically begging us to do it. They tweeted today, quote, fascism is still our #1 lookup. Number of lookups equals how we choose our word of the year. Merriam-Webster wrote, there's still time to look up something else. Anything else. Come on, people. There's a movement afoot for flumadiddle, which is something foolish or worthless. Flumadiddle. Still sounds better than fascism. The Boss is coming to town tomorrow. It's the book tour for Bruce Springsteen that's been all over the news. This video on YouTube from the new owners of the tattered cover. They posted this to help convince Bruce Springsteen to stop at their store on Colfax for a book tour meet and greet. Inventively done. And this would be your public service announcement to avoid that stretch of Colfax. Tomorrow morning, late morning, noon. This is a sold-out event, and you can bet the area is going to be crawling with people just hoping to get a glimpse of the Boss. We are back with a sign, an old sign that hasn't been useful for folks in Denver for quite some time. Hello again. Who thought Next was going to be canceled by now? Show of hands. We set out to do a 30-minute TV show every weeknight, and instead it's turned into just this nonstop conversation. Nothing is off limits on Next. If you see something that's funny enough that you take a picture of it and you send it to your friend, send it to us. #HeyNext. It's super easy. Include us on the conversation that you're having with your friends and family, and then we can include everybody else around the state. That's Next. It's still on the air.
Broncos tonight, Sunday nights at 10:35 on 9 News.
Just sitting around drives Mike McCarrick crazy. The man behind the wheel of car 88 spends his days at the I-76 Speedway in Fort Morgan. When Mike and his brother Rick aren't inside the car, they're usually under it.
Yeah, this thing's still gonna leak.
Mike believes he can fix anything except his legs.
I was born this way. My legs are paralyzed from the waist down.
Mike believes this wheel and this chair can keep him out of that wheelchair and race.
My wife says the wheelchairs don't go fast enough, so that's why I started racing the cars.
Driving through all this crazy, just sitting around and around.
Well, go for it. Set your mind. You can do anything. Really?
It was a day I'll never forget. I was covering 6 elementary school kids in Florida. They won a contest to go watch a space shuttle launch. It was the Challenger launch. 30 years later, I caught up with those kids, now middle-aged adults with families and great jobs. They all share this common bond, and that bond is the lessons they learned that day. Lessons about life, lessons about mortality, lessons about living life to the fullest. It's lessons that they understand now and are trying to teach their own children.
I used to never really talk, ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
It's a sign spotted by next viewer Bill Wiederspan in Denver's Wash Park. And if the sign looks a bit vintage, Bill says it's because they're actually holdovers from a long-gone parking lot. And traffic has not come through there in ages. He says he's tried to get the city to take down the unnecessary weathered signs, but no dice. Perhaps the city thinks that people on rollerblades and bikes still pay attention to them. You can always send us a sign that makes you go, huh? Email next@9news.com or hit us up with the hashtag HeyNext. All right, let's check in on what kind of facial hair monstrosity you have assigned for me to wear on Thursday, the day after No Shave November. I'll do it if you help us hit our fundraising goal in the No Shave November campaign. We're raising money for research in the fight against men's cancer. You can put me in a Ron Burgundy mustache. 0% vote for that. Are you serious? A Fu Manchu. About a quarter of you voting there, and strongly mutton chops appear to be the clubhouse leader. We'll take another vote tomorrow night. We'll see how the totals stack up there, but mutton chops look really solid for Thursday. And here's the deal. Up until 6:30, I'm matching your donations to No Shave November. You can find a link and have a conversation with us on the Next Facebook page where we're live, or on my own Facebook page. We're going to try to kick things off the right way as we close up our fundraising. Thanks to Rick, Patricia, Tamara, Katie, Bodie, Wendy, Matt, everybody else who has donated, and I'll see you next time.